Should Belize resume the death penalty? That was at the center of an extraordinary discussion this morning inside the walls of the Museum of Belize. In light of continuous criminal activities, the team over at the museum pulled together professionals from different sectors to talk on the unspeakable and dissect the topic of capital punishment. Ironically and perhaps intentionally used was the former prison where the museum now sits and in which 19 recorded executions by hanging took place up until 1985.
Our fundamental goal is to provide an educational discussion on the topic at hand that will engage and stimulate our young people.
By the 17th century, hangings were already popularized and held in the public, as I mentioned, to serve as a deterrent. Until 1783, in London, prisoners were being executed 3 times per year with up to 20 individuals or 20 persons being hung simultaneously. This is just a list of the 19 individuals who were confirmed to have been executed here. You have Nora Parham. I'm certain that most of you have heard the name before. She was the last female executed in the Caribbean, and I believe the only female here. She was executed June 5th, 1963, and then the last being Kent Bowers, June 19th, 1985.
During the colonial times, arsonists, slave runaways, and murderers were judged and could be subjected to capital punishment. In the case of other criminal offenses, a cut-o'-nine whip was used as a tool to implement severe physical and judicial punishment in Britain and colonies. But following the 1985 execution of Kent Bowers, several human rights conventions were ratified by Belize and capital punishment ceased. The death penalty is deemed unlawful because it goes against our rights as stated in the Constitution. Instead, murderers are given life sentences, but that too, as of recent, has been challenged in courts.
Section 3 of Belize's Constitution guarantees the right to life, liberty, security of the person, and the protection of the law. Section 4 of Belize's Constitution states that a person shall not be deprived of his life intentionally, save in execution of the sentence of a court in respect of a criminal offense under any law of which he has been convicted. Section 7 of our Constitution states, however, that no person shall be the subject of torture or inhuman or degrading punishment or other treatment.
But is the criminal landscape in Belize a result of the age-old adage, spare the rod and spoil the child? For some time now, the Belize Police Department has engaged in community policing. In Eastern Division South specifically, Assistant Commissioner of Police Chester Williams and Diane Finnegan carry out mediations with gangs as a crime intervention tool. Finnegan says that there are alternatives to cracking the whip and tightening the noose.
Death for a debt as a penalty psychologically assists the perpetrator in that they don't have to live any longer with the guilt and anguish murdering another human being. Life imprisonment is by far a harsher penalty, for the perpetrator must live in extreme conditions within prison walls until they die, while each day reminiscing about the crime they have committed. I feel that I've been blessed with the privilege to work with young people who have been facing major challenges as they journey through this life. But my greatest blessing is working with the gangs. It has given me the opportunity to tap into their souls, to reach a part of them that society may never ever get to discover about them, because we get to realize that they still have dreams, they still have hopes, even though they've been caught up in a life of destruction.
Duane, Moody for News 5.